Hey guys, today we are going to be doing something called pop art. Pop art uses things found in popular culture to make its art. If you watched the video already, you know a little bit of background story on pop art. Pop art traditionally uses printmaking, and we would be doing printmaking if we were in the classroom, but because we're not, we're going to improvise and we are going to adapt our lesson. Some of the things that are popular today could be TikTok, Snapchat, emojis, Minecraft, different video games, TV shows, or food items. You can use whatever you want to make your pop art print plate, but these are the materials you're going to need today. Now, you don't need all of these materials. You're definitely going to need your sketchbook. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need crayons. You're going to need some type of paperboard. This could be like a cereal box, a snack box, some thin but sturdy form of cardboard that you can use your scissors to cut with. And you're going to need some type of glue and either a Sharpie or a black pen. If you don't have either one of those, a darker crayon color will work. We're going to be making what's called a collagraph. A collagraph is when you take a surface, in our case, our paperboard, and add things to that surface to make it a little raised and add texture to the surface. We will then use that texture to do a print using some crayons. I'm going to go ahead and cut my paperboard so that it will fit nicely into my sketchbook. You want to be able to do about 2 prints per page, so make sure you keep that in mind when you're cutting your paperboard. There we go. Now I have my paperboard cut. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can have little scraps. That's fine. You just want some areas that you can work with. So I'm going to pick one of these to be my base. I'm going to go with this one. I know that it'll fit into my sketchbook a couple of times. 1, 2. So I can make 2 prints off of one paper. We want to try and keep these small. So I'll set these to the side. And for my print plate, I'm going to do an ice cream cone. So I want all of my things to fit on top of here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pieces for my ice cream cone. Okay, now I have all my pieces cut, and the more details you do, the cooler it's going to look. So now I need to glue everything together. All right, now I have my collagraph glued together, and I've given it a little bit of time so to let the glue set. This does 2 things. 1, you don't want any sticky pieces on your collagraph because then it'll stick to the paper. Not good. 2, you want the pieces to really stick down so they don't move around on you. So finish your collagraph and then give your glue some time to dry. Go get a snack or watch an episode of your favorite TV show and then come back to this. But now I'm ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our collagraph plate, this is called a print plate, underneath our sketchbook paper. And I'm using my sketchbook because I know that I can line it up because each one of the pages is going to be the same. Okay, so it's underneath my sketchbook paper, can't see it yet. Then I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to pick a lighter color to start with, so I'll pick pink. And you're going to hold down firmly. You want to press down firmly onto the paper because if it's not firmly pressed, your collagraph is going to move underneath the paper. And then we're going to rub. And what's going to happen is the texture underneath is going to come through so that you can see the outline of my ice cream cone. The harder you press, the more it's going to show up. So I'm going to press really hard and move everything around so that I can get all the pieces. And then I need to come down here to my cone. And voila, I have a print. And you can do this as many times as you want. So I'm going to do one more and then I'm going to show you what the next step is. All right, so now I have 2 prints. I'm going to set my Collagraph print plate aside and I have 2 prints here. If you didn't like your print after the first one, you can always go back and add to this. Uh-oh, one of my things fell off. I will glue that back on in a second. But let's say I didn't want that on there. I could have taken it off and it would have been fine. So the next part after you have some prints done is we are going to outline either using a Sharpie or a darker crayon or a black pen. We're going to go ahead and outline our pop art object just to make it pop out more. So I'm going to outline these and then show you what to do next. Okay, so I outlined them in 2 different methods just so you can see the difference. This one is obviously more pop. It sticks out more because it's a Sharpie instead of a crayon, but either one will work. So with pop art, one of the styles was by Roy Lichtenstein, and he liked to do dots. So Andy Warhol did a lot of printmaking, which we just did, and Roy Lichtenstein did dots. So we're going to combine the 2. We did a print. Now we're going to do dots in the background. You can choose a different color of crayon if you want, or marker, or the pen, or you can do Sharpie. I'm going to do 2 different styles so that you can see what I mean. We're going to do dots or patterns. You can do patterns if you'd like in the background. Remember, a pattern is something that repeats. I'm going to do dots because that is what Roy Lichtenstein did to make it look more like a comic book style. So now I have my dots done in the background. We're only doing dots in the background. Either one of these will get you an E, depending on what the materials you have. Obviously, the one with the Sharpie looks a little better. But I did, to get an E, you're going to need to fill the entire background with either dots or pattern. You're going to add at least 3 layers of pieces to your Collagraph. So I have 1 for my cherry and my ice cream sprinkles, 2 for my different layer ice cream, 3 for my second flavor of ice cream, and I actually have 4 for my cone. Now if I wanted to, I could go into my cone and add some details. The more details you add without making it look messy, the better it's going to look. There I have some details on my cone. That's fine. You don't want to add too many details because you want the background dots to really stick out, but you can add some stuff if you want to, like the lines on my cone. Each one may look a little different, and that's okay. They are prints. Not each one will look the same, but you get the basic picture. Once you're done and you have 4 prints, I'm going to show you what to do next. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more prints, and I'll show you what's next on our project. As you can see, none of my prints look exactly the same, and that's okay. We want them to be close. Printmaking is not a perfect science. So I did rip out my page. You're allowed to rip out your pages on this sketchbook assignment. I know, shocker, Miss Courtney never lets us rip out our pages. I'm going to set my sketchbook aside for a second. Now I'm going to cut out all 4 of these so that we can put them together to make a final piece of artwork. Alright, so I have my 4 pieces of artwork. Now I'm going to arrange them so that they are together and going the same direction. And because I did 2 different styles for you guys, I want them to go crayon, crayon, marker, marker. This is what my final piece is going to look like. I'm going to glue them together by using some scrap paper that I had left over. If you have tape, that will make this so much easier. But what you're going to do is just flip them over. And I'm going to put some glue on this piece of paper. Make sure that they're together and glue them down. Now if you have tape, go ahead and use tape, but I wanted to make sure that you guys could do this with just the supplies I asked if you had at the beginning of our quarantine. So I glued those together. Now I'm going to glue these last two together. And voila. Now they're all glued together and I make one final artwork. This is what you are going to take a picture of. Watch my how to upload artwork video so that you can take a picture of it. You're going to upload two things actually. You're going to upload your 4 prints and you're going to upload a picture of your printing plate just so that I can see the different layers. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Have fun, guys, with pop art.